It is time for Vision Talk, every second Tuesday of the month. Joining us in studio right now, of course, is Rehab Specialist Theresa McMordie and our guest, Mr. Arthur Pitcher, also joining us in studio right now. And, as usual, we talk about sight loss, right, Theresa?
Yes,
that's what we do.
Yes. There's a surprise. Yeah.
No surprise to our listeners out there, I am so sure. But specifically, we've had some lovely chats lately, actually, with some younger folk and some folks who have had, slow sight loss and are dealing with what do we call it? Low sight issues, and also dealing with sudden sight loss. We've had a few chats with folks about that. So, Mr. Pitcher, welcome to the program. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for Theresa didn't have to twist your arm too much.
No.
Get you to come talk to us.
But I will say that I had to be reminded of it through my wife.
There you go.
Theresa forgot it.
No, I didn't. No, never.
Shame on you, Theresa.
And I did too. I forgot about it too.
We all do. You know what I say, Mr. Pitcher? It's called sometimers. I don't have Alzheimer's yet, but sometimes.
Yeah, got you.
Sometimes. Not that Theresa forgot, but here we are. And of course, specifically, I'll give a little bit of info away. Mr. Pitcher, sight loss at retirement age, navigating the unknown together, and overcoming sight loss later in life. I guess, are we going to talk a little bit about what has been the cause of your sight loss, and how long have you been dealing with it, Mr. Pitcher?
Well, let me go back and say that. First of all, let me tell the listening audience, take care of your sight. Do not take it for granted. I thought I was Superman when it came to going through life, and, I would try to keep in the best of health. But one thing, I took my sight for granted. Being in the construction field all my life, I never wore glasses. Being out on roofs and everybody wants the roof to be white.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I think between that and the sun and the glare,
sure,
I think that's what caused me to be in my situation today.
Gotcha.
And let me say this, that I kind of think it came on suddenly.
Got you.
But I do remember going back to at the age of 40, I started to buy over-the-counter glasses.
So magnifiers, so you could see better and stuff like that.
And I, not going to any eye doctor at that time.
Optometrist or nothing, yeah?
Right. I just would, as it got worse, I would go and go to the next level.
Gotcha.
And, but in the end, I found that I had glaucoma.
Got you. All right.
All right, so glaucoma is my problem. And
right, yeah, we've talked about the various causes, and Theresa, I guess we'll reiterate a little bit statistically, glaucoma being one of the major causes of sight loss here, right?
It is, yes.
And like Mr. Pitcher was talking about, many causes. We can't say, specifically that just painting some white roofs caused Arthur's glaucoma, but I guess exposure to extreme brightness in sunlight can be a contributing factor.
Yeah,
right?
wearing hats and glasses, and he's absolutely right, Arthur. It's absolutely correct in making sure you have your eyes tested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And regular checks. Because if ophthalmology or optometrists, they can see the condition.
Yeah, and if caught early, there are ways to maintain control, arrest, slow down, these things. So, about how long have you been dealing with, obviously now, Mr. Pitcher, major sight loss? And did it start slowly where you're like, gosh, I can't see, I got to turn these lights on?
No.
Things like that?
Let me say, it happened to me, I was driving my truck, coming off of South Side, picking up materials, and I came off of South Side onto Texas Road.
Sure.
And I had to go towards the Lighthouse Road. And this was in the morning.
Sure.
Before sunrise, about before the sun got up high.
Gotcha.
And as I turned over Texas Road onto Lighthouse Road, and I have a property right there that's fenced in on the main road, and the sun was above the
Came over the ridge.
lane,
Yeah.
above the land next to the property, and it hit me in the eyes.
Sure.
And I literally, my mirror on my truck hit a fence.
Wow.
And it was at that point I said, "That's it. I
Sure.
cannot be driving
The
anymore."
glare took your
Right.
sight right away, and most
Right.
people with glaucoma who might be listening right now can relate to that.
Right.
Either something like having to drive into the sunlight, or glare at
Exactly.
night
Exactly.
from some headlights or something.
Oh, these LED lights.
Literally, it blinds you, for want of a better
Right.
word. It's hopefully it's momentary, and as the disease progresses, you do have a little bit of sight again. But at that point, I'm sure you were like, "Gosh, it's time for
Yeah.
me to go see somebody."
That was it.
Yeah.
And,
How long ago was this, Mr. Pitcher? This event you're talking about?
I'm thinking 2 years.
Okay,
2 years ago,
all right.
and I ended up going to Dr. Smith. And after seeing him, he recommended Vision Bermuda.
Sure.
You know, and I went from his after visiting
Office
him,
over to talk to Teresa.
walked right up, and that's where I met
Just up the
Teresa.
road.
Just like
And
that.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I don't regret that day.
For real. Things have
and-
been looking up ever since, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, and the camaraderie of the other people that go there, you know, and we walk together at the stadium, and
Sure, yeah.
it's a good support group.
Absolutely, absolutely. Did you have a little bit of a struggle, shall we say, emotionally, having to deal with, like, dang, you know, I've been this super, like you said, Superman, independent guy, hard worker. You're talking to the daughter of a tradesman, so I feel for you, you know, and, you know, dealing with the things that age brings and the things you can't do anymore. But how... was it a big thing where you just, you know, said, "Okay, Arthur, now pull yourself up by your bootstraps and let's sort this out"?
Well, let me say this. I'm so grateful that I was in the trades.
Sure,
I went to Bermuda Tech,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
I learned how to be a carpenter there.
Absolutely. My dad was a carpenter too.
In my old age,
Sure.
one of the things that I enjoy doing is making kites.
Got you. Okay.
Right? And people say, "How can you make kites and you can't see?"
Yeah.
I said, "My hands
Remember.
have been trained, and I use the stick,
Yeah.
and I go a razor blade, and you know, I can make a kite.
Sure.
What little I can see, I can hold a kite up.
Sure.
Up,
And know how you got to
and-
cut
and-
the patch and everything, right? Good for you,
Oh,
buddy.
yeah, you
Good
know,
for you.
it's all about feeling.
Yeah, and muscle memory, because
Yeah.
you know, if you've done it often enough, your brain remembers.
Yeah,
That's why people can type without looking. Ask Phyllis.
yeah.
She'll
yeah.
tell you,
I
right?
can imagine. Yeah.
And
Oh,
they're
that-
beautiful kites as well.
Sure, yeah,
Beautiful
sure.
kites.
Yeah. Okay, Teresa, let's talk a little bit about, you know, Arthur coming into the fold of Vision Bermuda. And, of course, he speaks highly of the social activities and everything like that. But what about, you know, the real training, like the long cane stuff and the understanding the different things, you know, is he in the chat group at all, too? Or have we gotten that far?
No,
or-
he took to long cane training really well.
All right.
Yeah,
He's got it here all
embraced it.
folded up.
Oh
and,
yes,
yeah.
yes. This is, I call this my guide that doesn't back answer me.
Yeah, that's your new girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's going to lead you in the right place.
Yeah.
And shout out to your wife, like you said, for how amazing she is. But
Oh yes.
there you go.
Oh yeah. Bye. I don't know what I'll do without you, girl.
Yeah.
I hope you're listening in.
Yeah, for real. I hope so too.
Where she falls, she's not there.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
you go.
It.
I think.
And when I met Teresa, I felt I've met a good friend for life.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think everyone who knows of her and the work that she does, I think feels the same way. And it just, she's the catalyst for the many great things that go on
Exactly.
at Vision Bermuda. And you mentioned the walking group. Were you one to get out and get some fresh air before, or were you just a go get the work done guy?
Well, let me say this. No.
No, in a short answer.
When I met Teresa and she introduced me to the cane,
Sure.
And then she came to St. David's, and we went, our first walk, we went out to Clearwater Beach.
There you go.
And we walked back and forth, and now we're walking up at the stadium, the north side.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the group...
You're not walking though, really, are you? You're sprinting.
Oh,
Well,
is he
Showing
leaving
the
you all
youngsters
behind?
how it's done. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Well, you walk at your own pace.
Absolutely.
He's
Yeah.
sprinting.
Yeah.
It's, you
He
know,
just likes to go fast.
I
Yes,
say
he
hi,
does.
hi to the group. Come on, guys.
As you
Walk at
pass
your
them,
own
as you
pace.
lap them, and then go around again. Is that what you do?
But I really look forward to it every Monday. And
Uh-huh.
after talking to the group, it's real. It's
Yeah.
it's better than. It's good therapy. Let
It
me
is
say
good
that.
therapy.
It's good
Yeah,
therapy.
absolutely. And like
Yeah.
you said, it's the friendship, the camaraderie.
That's right.
Creating
That's right.
community. There was a time when, I'm sure you were doing all of that type of thing on the job site. And now that you're not on the job site,
Yeah.
how has it been for some of your peers, some of your mates,
Well-
to understand, nobody wants they don't have to feel sorry for you, because obviously you're still living your best life. You're doing the
Exactly.
best you can with what you have. But them understanding, what you've gone through, and sort of still being the one, call you up, shoot the breeze for a bit, things
Well,
like that.
First of all, I had my own business
Yeah.
for practically all my life,
Uh-huh.
and I've just gave up the business.
Sure.
But I still in contact with
Sure.
guys,
Uh-huh.
and I say, look, bro, I'm living a good life now.
For real.
I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor.
Absolutely.
I did save, I did building my own home,
Sure.
and I'm getting, dividends from that now.
Sure. Nice.
So I just thank God that I have my other senses.
Sure. You
know.
sure do.
And I just appreciate waking up each morning and say thank
Yeah.
you, God.
You're gracious, and that's the best way to approach it. I'm
Yeah.
sure, Teresa has talked about, the difficulty for some clients coming to grips with sight loss, and of course, a lot of her mandate is to make sure that they don't feel alone, that there is a tribe around them that's going to help them do what they do. And being a man from the East, there are a whole lot of great tribal folk around you down there, I'm sure, as well, the Pitcher
Yeah,
tribe and
yeah.
the rest of them down there.
Right.
Making sure that life goes on and you still definitely living your best life. Have you done anything else as far as the classes or the groups that go on at Vision Talk, Arthur?
Well, just recently we were in a group, and matter of fact, it was just prior to the election,
Sure.
where the Vision had people from the parliamentary group come in
Sure.
and
Give a talk.
give a talk. And,
Nice.
And they have done something that I didn't know that it was available.
Gotcha. All right. So
And, a blind person is really assisted to even vote.
sure, you get some
know.
knowledge there. That's
Yeah.
great to know.
And,
Yeah,
it's
you know,
really
you-
beautiful
it's-
piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was an say an eye.
And that was an eye opener, pun intended. Yeah, I think
that was nice. And
Uh-huh.
the other thing, another time was other people, caregivers or husbands or wives to people that
with sight
that
loss. Yeah.
sight loss.
Uh-huh.
We were in a meeting and it was good.
Yeah, because they can
just
they can
talking
absolutely
talking to one another.
share the experiences and
Yeah.
be helpful
Yeah.
for people that are coming into the fold.
Yeah.
And again, I think it goes a long way to know that there's a tribe around you and there's always some joy to be found. You just got to look for it.
Uh-huh.
Your world could be pretty dark, but you can still look for that light.
Yeah. Now, a question I want to ask Theresa is: any idea how many people in Bermuda are visually impaired? If I'm putting you on the spot, because
No, I know. Well, no, we don't know
it's
properly
something.
how many people. I would really like to. Something that I'm planning to do.
Bit of a
and
survey
it was,
on it, yeah.
Yes, it was something that I really want to do this year. So I need to get on with it because we're already in the middle of May.
Here we are.
Is talk to other ophthalmologists and come up with an agreement, be sharing data
Right,
agreement where we can find out, not necessarily have names, but can find out what
just the
the
numbers
sight
and-
conditions are.
Sure. The
I
numbers of folk.
know it was over a year ago now, but I did some work with the Diabetes Association and we were looking at diabetic retinopathy,
Sure.
and they had a lecturer in, and we were doing some work. It was a really good week. And there are around 2,500 with people with diabetic retinopathy. So I hope Diabetes Association, if you're listening, I've got that figure correct for today. But there's, from my way of thinking, my main caseload is diabetic retinopathy and glaucoma. So if there's 2,500 with diabetic retinopathy, then there has to be another 2,500 with glaucoma. And then you have macular degeneration and retinitis pigmentosa and some other sight loss conditions within that. So I would say there has to be around 7,000 people on
Dealing with
island
vision loss
dealing with
of some
vision,
sort.
yeah. And that's low vision that can't be corrected by glasses.
Got you.
That's
Right,
not,
right.
like I'm wearing glasses right now
Sure.
for distance, but yeah, it can't be corrected by glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, so Vision Bermuda is going from strength to strength as far as building up what support and stuff is available for folks dealing with sight loss. About how many times a week do you say you spend some time with the folks at Vision Talk, Arthur?
Oh, me?
Yeah,
Once a week.
just once a week
Once
you
a
go,
week,
you do the walking
on
tour?
a Monday, yeah.
Yeah. And every
then-
now and then for
and now and
the
then,
for the talks or
yeah,
anything.
we go
yeah.
at the Vision facility,
Yeah.
the building per se, and
Yeah, you did our cooking class, didn't you? Did you come along to my cooking
no,
class?
I didn't.
No, I think you'll find you did.
Right. Right. I don't want to get into that because that means my wife will she'll have me cooking for her instead of the opposite,
We're
Or
laughing.
Irene.
We're laughing about this because from the time they got, there are special appliances that gotten for those.
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully, you have your lovely wife and your tribe around you, but there are those who deal with a more solitary, environment,
Well,
dealing
maybe.
with their vision loss and
On that-
having them cooking classes and them advanced appliances
I'll
and
tell
stuff
you
is
what.
very helpful.
I'll tell you what. The next time they're going to have a cooking class, I'm coming.
Sure,
Right.
yeah, let your wife come too.
Because,
I'm
let
sure
me-
she'll have some tips for
Let me
'em.
say this: I used to cook
Yeah.
when I had to.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, go enjoy it.
I might give you some of the St. David's recipes.
That would,
yes,
yeah.
There you go.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be nice. Did we ever make the gingerbread, Teresa?
We did.
Yeah?
Yes.
We made the
yes,
gingerbread?
We made the gingerbread, and it was. I was told it was delicious. I didn't get a piece because everybody loved it too much.
Yeah, you're going to have to make some more. But
Yeah.
yeah, things like that go a long way because, electronics and so forth are advancing so quickly. And, vision loss, there are amazing advances in virtual vision and how they're doing, they can do it for hearing loss and everything, do direct brain connection and things like that. All these things in development now. But for your everyday going about life, like you said, thankful for getting up in the morning, of course, getting
Yeah.
something to eat. How do you fill your days now with your sight loss?
To be honest,
No,
I'm
don't be honest.
I'm going to be honest on
Sure.
this. I'm a couch potato.
Yeah, couch potato.
And I'm going to tell you what I look at the most.
Sure.
MSNBC.
MSNBC or a news buff. Okay, I can see.
Because I'm constantly worrying about what's next.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
When it comes to America.
Oh, for
you
real.
know.
It can. If you dwell on it too much, Mr. Pitch, I would tell you make sure you take a break.
Well,
And-
but I do take a break and I go up to the game show.
I was just going to say, go up to the game shows or make sure you go down to the cricket club or something and listen to some
now and
stuff.
then, or
you
the
know.
club, yeah,
Yeah.
because I used to be avid cricketer
Sure.
for
Yeah.
the St. David's.
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely. The name is familiar
Yeah,
to a lot of
I
people,
had two
I'm
sons
sure.
come in my
Yeah.
wake, and they both played for St. David's.
Played
and they
for the
both played
team.
at cup match
And
for
played a
St.
cup
George's,
match
you
for
know.
St. George's. Yeah.
So and also I was at the school.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I last couple of years I've been down to St. David's Primary and
Sure.
giving kites to every classroom. for
That's
the last couple of
wonderful.
years,
That's
you know.
wonderful because
And
you
I
know.
look forward to that. You know?
Yeah, Herbie Bascom used to do the same thing
Yeah.
too. I'm sure he's a mate of yours from way back then,
Don't
Bascom
mention
boys.
Herbie. Maybe mention Herbie. Herbie provided me food on my wedding day
Bless him. Yeah.
Right? And that's over 40, my first marriage,
Sure.
40 some years ago.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Almost 50 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And I had an event on my 40th birthday, a cruise. He
Sure.
provided food for that.
Still the best
Didn't
fish
charge me
chowder
a
in
cent.
Bermuda. Yeah,
Right.
he's a good guy.
Charlie is great.
Yeah, he's a good
Great.
guy.
And there was nothing.
Oh yeah.
I had to, he had I think it was an 80th birthday at
Sure.
the Union,
Sure.
and I was invited. I
Sure.
was invited, and I wanted to give him $100. He wouldn't
Sure.
take. I had to force it in his pocket and run off.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's
So
the type of
so he
guy
couldn't
he
throw
is,
it back at you, right?
Herbie Bascom is great.
Sure.
He is a great individual.
It is, and it's important that you guys of that generation pass along that depth of friendship, the example of it,
yeah,
to the generations coming up behind you, because we know what our young folk, both down east and up west, are dealing with,
Right.
and it's a little bit like, okay, guys, we got to invest a little, I think, in these younger generations so that we can arrest the behavior, because what you're talking about is what needs to be passed on
Yes.
generationally. And I think someone at your point in life, because you got a little time, yeah, you guys can definitely be a great example for these youngsters, right?
I try my best.
Yeah,
I try
you
my
got to
best.
put it out there,
I
know.
know you'll be doing brilliantly, because what I love is Arthur has such a lovely, positive attitude.
Yeah,
And he's always really nice to be around.
yeah, and that makes a big difference. And like we said, make sure the storytelling and the passing on of knowledge continues. And
Exactly.
you don't need to be able to see to do that.
That's right.
You can make sure you gather
That's
those
right.
around you that can benefit from it. And again, the community created at Vision Talk, I'm sure go a long way. I can see him being involved in some things around there a little bit more with the missus, and being able to do
tomorrow,
story
actually.
night
Yeah.
or bingo.
You
Yeah.
sit and watch TV?
But,
No,
Yeah.
but going
you're doing
going
bingo
back to
tomorrow.
what I've heard today,
Sure.
about equipment that assist
Sure.
the blind,
Sure.
I'm coming to that cooking class.
For
I'm
real,
telling you.
yeah.
cooking class.
Yeah,
I'm
I
telling
know
you,
cooking
I'm
class,
coming
the
to
next
it.
one for that.
They told me about it. I said no.
Yeah, not
Dara's a
interested.
good cook.
Yeah.
I
But no, I think just learning about the gadgets is very cool.
Hey.
It is.
Very
And-
cool.
And you make something to take home, so you could maybe have,
And the gadget,
Part
I
of
might,
dinner when
I
you
might
go
put
home.
that gadget in my house.
There you go.
exactly. You might. But you remind me of a client that didn't want me to teach them how to iron. Actually.
Okay.
No, don't talk about ironing. I don't want to.
Because then that would have turned into his chore, right?
Teresa, I didn't know all of these things that is available at Vision.
Sure.
I had
yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
idea. It took me to come here to find out what Vision
No,
offers.
Alvina does a very good job of telling everybody.
Oh,
what
Sure,
the
what's
free-
available, yeah, what's available. But you
Yeah.
just got to get the initiative
Yeah.
to want to come and be a part of it. And if this visit has helped you do that, Mr. Pitcher, we're all better off for it.
I'm so grateful to you,
Yeah.
Teresa, for asking me to come to this.
That's
so
that's
grateful.
what it's all about.
Great.
Needed you to
Great.
come here.
And of course, anyone can contact Vision Bermuda at 2923231, or you can email info@visionbermuda.bm. Go to the website, of course, visionbermuda.bm, and they would love it if you found them on Facebook and liked their pages. Anyone who might have had recent diagnoses, might be feeling a little bit isolated or a little nervous about reaching out for what Vision Bermuda has to offer. Please be inspired by the chats we have here. Mr. Pitcher coming today, of course, I'm sure has gone a long way to encouraging those of perhaps a certain generation that they don't need to just pout and put up with it. They can come out and definitely learn how to enhance.
You don't have to be involved in rehab to come along and enjoy our group.
Sure, absolutely.
You have sight loss, but you just want the social side of things,
Uh-huh.
then please,
Yeah.
still get in touch.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm very excited actually, because I'm trying to get a game called Showdown. Well, now
Uh-huh.
you're going to ask me to explain it into our centre. I'm trying to get the table. So anyway, it's a sports game,
Sure.
and so I'm trying to.
It's a little bit
get
like
that
foosball or
organised.
something, right? Where they have to something that makes a noise
Yes.
has to be maneuvered about
Yes.
on the table.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What's
And
that
for
again?
those that have sight, a little bit of sight have to wear a blindfold. There's no cheating.
So what's
It's
it
called
again?
Showdown.
Showdown.
And Matthew Johnson,
Sure.
he's the one that's introduced me to it.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
Okay.
hopefully he's going to come over and start.
Uh-huh.
Just in case you're listening, Matthew, I'm not going to let you get away with it. He wants to come over and because he's Bermudian.
Sure.
But
he lives in England.
And lives in England, a lawyer there. Yeah, and
Mhm.
he plays it and
Sure.
absolutely loves it. And so
Yeah.
he's the one that introduced me. Just trying to get a table at the moment
Uh-huh.
for that. But yeah, so there's lots of more fun things coming on.
Yeah,
to,
more
that we wanna
social
start.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's not just about rehab. It's just about enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
You know, enjoying the moment.
And each other's company. And,
Absolutely.
And not feeling so isolated and alone, as we've already said.
Absolutely.
Right.
That,
Uh-huh.
just come along to our centre and join one of our groups.
Okay.
And on that note, we've had 2 lovely volunteer drivers come forward from,
Nice.
From asking from Vision Talk about it. But we would love a few more, please.
Volunteer
Any
drivers.
more volunteer drivers
definitely
recently
needed.
retired, thinking of what could I do with my weekday?
Okay.
Please, we would love to hear from you.
And we can't let you finish up, Theresa, without talking about your new executive director, Erica Ingeman,
Yes.
who will be joining us next month, and we'll talk a
Yes.
little bit about the plans for Vision Bermuda moving forward, both
Yes.
the games
Yeah.
and the other activities, and of course the latest technology and everything that's anticipated as we keep helping
Yes.
those with sight loss here in Bermuda, folks. You've been listening to Vision Talk.
Thank you.
Second Tuesday of every month. Please let anyone know who you think might benefit from the program. That there'll be a repeat of it on Power 95 at the same time tomorrow at 5:15. Thanks so much for coming by, folks. Pleasure having you, Mr. Pitcher.
Thank you.
for coming, Arthur.
And we know it's going to be a fun time with
Yeah.
the social events
Yeah.
at Vision Talk going forward. Thanks so much, Theresa. Doing great stuff. We do
thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you.